Well, joining us for the entertainment panel, as always, is Abby St. John. Abby, we're continuing to get looks into new projects and new movies that are expected to be released in the coming months or so into summer and into next year. And also same with TV shows as Marvel continues to make its way with new series. And we are going to get a first glimpse of this new series, What If, which is a really interesting series, which is kind of depicts on, kind of those what if situations in the Marvel universe. What if so-and-so didn't do this or did that? Touch on a little bit more on what that trailer that came out recently and what that brought us.
Yes, we got our first real look into the show What If, and it shows, the classic battles and storylines from the movies that we've watched over the years, and they change it to see what if this happened. Like you mentioned, the trailer opens up with the scene from Iron Man 1 right before he gets kidnapped. The trucks get blown up, and then right before his missile was going to go off, Killmonger comes and saves him, and they end up teaming up together. So that's like the first look of the story changing, and then it goes on and it shows different characters in different lights. It shows T'Challa as a Ravenger, so he kind of depicts Quill's character, and his partners with Yondu. And it is also Chadwick Boseman's last role as well, so that's pretty special. All the characters are voiced by the same actors that we see in the movies, so that's also another thing that is wonderful as well. The Guardians are fighting in the Battle of New York instead of the Avengers, and it seems like Peggy Carter becomes a super soldier and becomes Captain Carter. So that's also really interesting to see. And it's going to be interesting to see where Steve Rogers' character falls and how that changes. They kind of glimpse at the Hulk and Natasha, Black Widow. So we'll see what kind of relationship that they have. But it's going to be really interesting. And we're going to see these characters in different lights and see kind of how, if the story changed just a little bit, if time and reality kind of switched and morphed into something different, what we could see and how that affects the rest of this rest of Marvel's storyline. So I'm very excited for this series. It comes out August 11th on Disney Plus. I'm very excited. It's going to be really different, and it's animated, so it's not live action. So they're really going to be able to do a lot of different things. It shows at one point Loki has an entire army behind him. So see how his character has changed and see what that brings to that universe. So I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm anxious to see kind of how those scenarios go, and you and I are Marvel fans. We do enjoy those movies, and it's also fun to see maybe I'm anxious to see if there's anything to do with with Ant-Man or Spider-Man in that regard there. One of the last things, Abby, we're chatting about, we talked about upcoming movies. We know a beloved animated movie is getting another sequel in the upcoming fall here. The Addams Family is expected to come back to theaters this coming fall in October, and we got a glimpse of that, of course, in 2019, where it all kicked off with the cast of Oscar Isaac, Charlize Theron, just a really great cast, and just to name a few names there. But give us a sense of what this sequel is going to bring now.
Yes, so in this sequel, the animated sequel, they're going on a road trip when they discover that Wednesday and Pugsley are kind of pulling away from family activities. Gomez kind of is like, okay, let's break out the old family camper and let's go on a road trip this summer. And it's typical Addams Family activities. Pugsley blows up the Grand Canyon, and Wednesday terrorizes Pugsley any chance she gets. So it's that typical Addams Family vibe, but on a road trip at the beach, at the Grand Canyon, different landmarks across the U.S. It shows the Addams Family going to and creating chaos wherever they go. Typical Addams Family. And it looks really funny. It looks just as good as the first one that, like you said, came out in 2019. Kind of kicked off that animated look into the classic Addams Family. And it was fantastic. And so the second one looks to be just as good. And Charlize Theron, Chloe Grace Moretz, Bette Midler, Oscar Isaac, Nick Kroll, Snoop Dogg, and Javen Walton and Bill Hader, they all make up this cast. And I think it's going to be a really great movie, just as good as the first one. And it comes out on October 1st.
I really like in the trailers, from if you notice, so you listen to it quickly, how they have Snoop Dogg songs playing whenever there's Cousin Ed, and I still think that's such a really great casting by the people at Addams Family. Abby St. John, thank you so much.
Thank you.